Desires, desires, desires. Let's talk about desires. The Bhagavad Gita Shloka, the verse that I have picked up for today's discussion is chapter 2, verse number 55. Prajahāti yadā kāmān sarvān pārtha mano-gatān ātmany-evātmanā tuṣhṭaḥ sthita-prajñas tadochyate. Amazing verse. When I was learning Ayurveda in a yoga institute, one of the instructors explained this verse to me so graphically. So, thank you, my friend, the yoga instructor. I got attracted to this verse, and I have done a bit of research on this verse, and let me present this to the Formula 44 enthusiasts who are implementing the 4 elements of food and drinks, part of it, and also the 4 elements of the exercises. 2-3 glasses of sufficiently hot water, warm water, early in the morning to be sipped slowly. 1 fistful of nuts and dry fruits, 2 helpings of fruits, and 4 helpings of lentils, pulses, grains, fruits, vegetables, roots, leaves, etc. in our meals. This will constitute the food part, and as far as the exercise and the mind management is concerned, let's commit to do 1 round of meditation, 2 rounds of walk, 3 rounds of breathing techniques, pranayam, and 4 rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Rounds are easy to implement. If you are a beginner, you can just have 1 round. If you advance, you can do 2 rounds. So when you do sun salutation, you can do 4 into 2, 8 times. If you advance further, you can do 4 into 3, 12 times. But minimum 4 is what we should begin with. So let's talk about this quality, this attribute called desire, which engulfs all of us. All the time we are desiring. For example, I am making a video with the desire that some people will hear me out. They will subscribe my channel. They will express some appreciation. So there is a desire involved. After doing this video, I will go into the NTUC shop and buy some fruits and vegetables and coconut shells. That is with the desire that eating those stuff will make me healthy. Then I will have so many other desires. Take rest, sleep well, have a good early dinner, learn some music, all with a program, catch up with my emails so that when I go to the office, I am up to date with all the top issues, with the desire that I am seen as a proactive employee. So we are making desires all the time. So is there anything wrong with the desires? And the scriptures will tell us that there isn't anything wrong per se with the desires, but what is important is that we should dovetail these desires to the divine. The moment we bring divinity into the picture, everything gets set well. Because we can only make an attempt. The results are not in our hands. But because we don't have that faith, we don't have that conviction that there is a supreme reality, a supreme power which is in control, which is running this cosmos, running this universe, we get tensed, we get doubtful, skeptical, stressed, and whatnot. So this verse is saying, prajahāti yadā kāmān, sarvān pārtha mano-gatān. O Parth, O Arjun, those who have learned to control their desires, they have overcome the temptations of making unnecessary desires. They are the ones who are situated in the self. They have recognized that they have a soul within which is wanting to connect to the absolute truth, the absolute bliss, and the absolute peace. If that realization has dawned on us, Shri Krishna is saying, such a person is called sthita-prajñas. He is situated in the right frame of mind. He is situated well in life. So to repeat, we should make realistic desires, desires which are acceptable to the divine, acceptable to our spiritual mentor. Because often we will have doubts what is a good desire and what is not a good desire. So we can check with our spiritual mentor, our spiritual teacher, because he represents the divine. But the problem is we don't want a spiritual mentor. We don't want to hear what knowledge the scriptures are prescribing in such situations. So the desires otherwise will always put us in all kinds of problems, and always we will be wanting. Oh, I passed by the corridor, but this person did not greet me, he did not smile at me, he was not warm, he was not affectionate, I did so much for him, I posted so many videos in the YouTube channel, but there was such a lukewarm response. I did so well in my project, but there was hardly any recognition. Others took away the credit. We will have all kinds of unnecessary questions, which is negative, which is not adding to the quality of life that we are all entitled to lead. Be in happiness, be in bliss, be in peace, and get rid of all the mental and physical afflictions. A part of the physical and mental afflictions are also because of our destiny that we have to bear. But then that is only a small element. The large part of it is dependent on our thought processes. So once again, I would say, let us reflect on the message of 255. Prajahāti yadā kāmān, sarvān pārtha mano-gatān. ātmany-evātmanā tuṣhṭaḥ. sthita-prajñasya prajñasya tadochyate. And this point is also repeated in the same chapter in the 71st verse. Vihaya kāmān yah sarvān pumanscharti nispriyah nirmamo nirhankara sa shantim adhigacchati. Where Shri Krishna says that if we can get rid of the ahankar, the ego, the attachments, etc., we can live in absolute peace. We may counter question, how can I remain unattached? Well, we have to do the practice, because the attachment is not giving us the peace and bliss. We are not saying we stop doing our duties. We are affectionate, we are respectful, we are kind, we are compassionate to all our family members or the society. But we do our duty and let go of it. We don't hanker for the recognition, hanker for the reaction. That is what we are talking about. We are not saying that we don't do our duties. So what happens when we make desires? A lot happens when we make desires. We lose in so many ways. And this was stated in the conversation between Prahlad Maharaj and Narsingha Bhagwan. You remember the story when the Lord appeared in the form of half lion, half man, and he wanted to give all kinds of boons to Prahlad, who was a young boy, but he was enlightened. He was such a great devotee. And he said, I don't want all these material opulences, O Lord. I did not attach my mind to you because I wanted these. I attached my mind because that is what we are supposed to do. We are part of you as a soul. We are part of the super soul, the divine. And that is my natural association, natural attachment. I don't want to trade that with material benedictions. And he gave amazing verses. He said, Vimunchati yadā kāmān mano manasi sthita-prajñas tarhaiva pundrikaksha sa tarhaiva pundrikaksha bhagavatvaya kalpate. The same theme that if we can get rid of desires, the God is so pleased with us, the cosmos, the universe is so pleased with us that we get everything in abundance. We become God-like. We become as opulent as God. And God has infinite opulences. Now this may sound incredible, but then reflections and deep thinking about what we are talking about will reveal the truth. In the next verse, in that conversation, Prahlad says, Indriyani mana prana ātma dhritir mati hrī śhrī steja smriti satya nashyanti janmana. He says when we desire, and this we would have experienced, so often we beg for objects and we beg for relationships. We go to any extent in kowtowing, sometimes asking for benedictions and benefits from someone or the other. Prahlad is saying, when we do that, we lose the strength of our senses, indriyani, mind, life air, bodily strength. the self, the soul. We lose shyness, śhrī. We lose the effulgence, the strength of the personality, teja. We lose the memory, smriti. We lose fortitude, dhriti. We lose the intellect. We lose the truthfulness, the satya. Unbelievable how these desires are causing so much of turmoil in our lives, and pretty little we are doing anything about understanding that desires are the root cause of anger and greed. If we need to work with our anger and greed, we have to look at the way we desire. So this is the reflection and the theme for today's meditation for Formula 44 implementation. Take care, and we see you in the next video.